You're going to take a deep breath in through your nose. So breathe into your lower ribs and then a long exhalation out through your mouth. And just do that twice more, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your lower ribs just sink down into the mat as you breathe out. Good. Then starting to think about neutral spine. So you're going to go into pelvic tilt. So tucking your tailbone under as you breathe out, push your lower back down into the floor, and then breathe in as you release back into neutral. And just keep going with those. So you're using your abdominals to bring your hip bones up towards your lower ribs. And then you're releasing everything as you come just back into neutral so your pelvis is level on the mat. Just feel that movement in your lumbar spine, your lower back, coming in and out of neutral. And then bringing your pelvis back to neutral, you're now going to go into pelvic clocks or pelvic circles. So imagining a clock face or a compass face on your tummy, you're going to roll a marble all the way around the outer edge of that clock or compass face. You're trying to keep your knees still, so you're just feeling the movement just in your pelvis, circling around using your abdominals. Good. Then you can change direction. And then you're going to bring your pelvis so that it's level on the floor. You might just have a tiny arch in your lower back here. Everyone's slightly different. The best way to check you're a neutral spine or pelvis is to have your pelvis completely level. So if you imagine a dish of water on your tummy, if your pelvis is tucked under, so just do a posterior tilt, you imagine that the water's going to spill out of the back of it. If you tilt your pelvis forward, which is not very comfortable in your lower back, the water's going to spill out of the front of it. So you want the water to be completely level, not spill at all, and that's when your pelvis is level and your spine is in neutral. So then imagining that TVA muscle, the transversus abdominis, imagining it like a corset belt around your waist. You're just going to tighten that just enough to hold your pelvis and your spine stable. So from here, we'll just start to let your head roll from side to side. You're just breathing naturally for this. You just want to start to release any tension in your neck. You're keeping your chin just very slightly tucked in. If you feel your chin tends to stick up a little bit towards the ceiling, it might be that you need just to have your head very slightly elevated, and you can do that if you haven't got a head cushion, again just with a folded towel. Then you're going to bring your head into the centre of the cushion. Keep the length in your neck. You have 7 bones in the back of your neck. You want to keep them lengthened and separated, and then you're just going to raise your arms up towards the ceiling. So have your palms facing each other, starting to release your shoulders. Take a breath in as you reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Breathe out as you release your shoulders back down onto the mat. So you're feeling your shoulder blades widen on your back, and then you can either just draw your arms back slowly into your shoulder joints, or if it's comfortable for you, you can just let your shoulders drop back down onto the mat with your out breath. So whichever you prefer. Now you're trying to connect all of the muscles around your shoulder blades here. So think about reaching from your armpit. You're leading with your little finger, and all of the movement is in your shoulders. Your arms are just moving because of the movement of your shoulder blades. After this last one, we'll go into ribcage closure. So as you breathe out, you're going to bring your arms up above your head. Now your ribs stay tucked down, your spine stays still. Breathe in as you circle your arms out to the side. And again, breathing out as you bring your arms up into a ribcage closure. Breathe in as you circle your arms out to the side. 2 more. As you bring your shoulders into flexion, your arms come up above your head. You just might need to use a little bit more of your core just to keep your pelvis and your spine still. You're going to finish with your arms back up above your chest, palms facing each other. No, palms facing forward, sorry. We're going to go into windows. So you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bend your elbows to a right angle. Notice that daisies don't come all the way to the floor. You're then going to rotate your forearms back as you breathe in. You're trying to keep your wrists straight. Breathe out as you come back into a ribcage closure. Breathe in as you bring your arms back up above your chest. Good. Breathe out as you bend. Breathe in as you rotate back. Now Daisy, just show what your wrists look like if your hands flop back the other way. Yeah, so that's what you're trying to avoid. Keep your hands straight, your wrists straight. Breathe out as you come into a ribcage closure and breathe in as you bring your arms back up above your chest. Once more. Breathing out. Breathing in, rotate back into ribcage closure and finish with your arms back up above your chest. Brilliant. So now palms facing each other again. A little bit of pelvic stability now. So we're going to come up into a single knee fold, keeping your pelvis level on the mat. Good. Then you're going to open that knee out to the side and at the same time open both arms out to the side. Your other leg is staying completely still. You're going to do this 5 times on this one side. You're opening your knee as far open as you can without your pelvis moving. So this is staying completely still here. This knee is staying completely still. Good. Good. And if you find your pelvis starts to go over to one side, just don't open your knee quite as far, but we just want the movement within your hip joint. After that last one, you're just going to hold that knee still, and now you're going to come into knee circles. So you're just keeping your arms in that position. You're stirring your thigh bone within your hip joint. Your pelvis, your spine, and your other leg are staying completely still. Try and keep your foot relaxed as well, because that gives you cramp. And then you're going to change direction. Good. And then you can bring that foot back down to the floor. Fold the other knee in, back into the openings with the arm openings as well. So open your leg. Don't leave your foot behind either. Make sure that your whole leg opens out to the side. You're keeping your thigh vertical and your lower leg horizontal, your calf, your shin horizontal. So you will have a right angle at the back of your knee. Is this your 5th?
I think so.
Yes, just do one more. And then you can go into the knee circles again. So that feeling of stirring your thigh bone within your hip joint. Your pelvis staying still, your spine staying still. Good. And then change direction. And then you can bring your foot back down to the floor. Good. So just check that you're still in a good position there. You can bring your arms down by your sides now. You're going to come up into a double knee fold. So come up one knee at a time. And again, just check you're still neutral in your pelvis. Your thighs are vertical with a little gap in between them. Now you're going to straighten one leg up towards the ceiling. So you're wanting to feel that there's a little bit of a stretch in your hamstring there. So you're going to bring that, Daisy's hamstrings are quite tight, so she can't bring her leg in too far. But so just so that you feel a stretch. And once you've got that, you're then going to let that leg open out to the side. So that's going to feel quite a lot harder work than it did with the other foot on the floor. And you're going to close it, and you can do that 3 times on that one leg. Does that feel quite hard work?
It's because of my hamstrings.
Yeah. So you need to use quite a lot of your core.
Yeah.
So 3 times, then you can bend that leg and do the same on the other side. So first of all, reach your leg up as high towards the ceiling as you can without losing your neutral spine. Just feel the stretch in your hamstrings, and then keeping this leg completely still 3 times. Good. Bend your knee again, so staying in your double knee fold position. That's really good. Okay, so from here, lengthen your arms back up towards the ceiling. You're going to lengthen one leg away and the opposite arm into a single ribcage closure. Draw it back in and then repeat on the other side. Now just keep alternating, but keep this really slow. No movement at all in your spine. Good. And when you've done one more on each side, you're then going to try and do the same arm and same leg. So maybe both your Right, yeah, you're doing it right. 3 of those on one, oh yeah, no, keep going, alternate. Good. Brilliant. And then you're going to bring your heels together, keep your knees apart. Then you're just going to imagine that you're sliding your feet along a table. So they're not going to lift up off that table. So they're not lifting, you're sort of lifting slightly there, Daisy. So just imagine you're just sliding them away and then drawing them back in again. You may not be able to take them very far. It's quite hard on your abdominals because you're wanting to keep that neutral spine. And then if that feels okay for you, you can add in a ribcage closure. So bringing both arms up above your head as you slide your heels away, drawing them back in. 2 more. Good. And then you can bring your arms back down by your sides, bring your feet back down to the floor. Good. Okay, so back into pelvic tilts now. You're going to do 2 pelvic tilts and then we'll go on up into a spine curl. So tucking your tailbone under, push your lower back down into the floor, release into neutral. Then after this second one, you're going to start to peel your spine up off the floor into your spine curl. You might want to bring your feet slightly closer into your body. So coming up into your spine curl. Good. Hold it at the top, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, start to come back down again. So with your spine curls, you're wanting to really think about lifting your spine up off the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. So you're coming up really slowly, lengthening through your spine, coming up onto your shoulder blades, hold it there. So you're keeping your hips lifted, but your ribs tucked down. And then as you come down, think of replacing your spine, 1 bone at a time. Release your pelvis completely into neutral. Don't forget to release that before you come up into your next spine curl. So working through the whole length of your spine, it's a sequential movement, which is where you're moving 1 vertebra at a time, coming back down again. Good. So watch that the weight doesn't start to come into into the outer edge of your foot. Press the weight into your big toe and into your heel. Good. Let your pelvis lift up evenly on both sides. Watch that you don't work slightly harder on one side of your body than the other. Good. And then the next time you come up into your spine curl, you're going to hold it there. So coming back up again. Hold the position. So really think about your glutes working to help with the lift. Good. That's lovely. Now you're going to lengthen your arms up above your head into a ribcage closure. So bringing your arms right up above your head. Feel the length, feel the stretch through the front of your body. And then you can circle your arms out to the side. Bring them back down by your sides, and then you can come back down out of your spine curl. Good. Back up once more. So tucking under, hold it again. Now this time you can either just hold the position, because actually you're working quite hard just in this static position, or if you want more of a challenge, we're going to bring the weight over into 1 foot. You're going to keep your pelvis evenly lifted, and you're going to come up into a single knee fold. So fold your knee up. Good. Then you're going to tap that foot just down to the floor and bring it straight back up again. Really hard, not to, twice more, not to let your pelvis drop. Good. And then you can bring that foot to the floor, and then you're going to go straight onto the other side. Good. That was lovely stability there. That's really good. 3 times. Now this is really hard work. You may only want to do 1 repetition of it, and that's absolutely fine. When you've done your 3, bring your feet back down to the floor and come back down out of your spine curl. Release all the way back down into neutral. Good. Feel okay?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, right. From there we're going to go into some curl-ups. So if you've got a head cushion or a little towel clasped behind your head, you may just want to take that away. You're going to not clasp behind your head, underneath your head. You're now going to clasp your hands behind the back of your head. Now you're keeping everything really stable and relaxed in the lower part of your body. You're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to just nod your head forward. It's almost a little chin tuck. And then you're going to start to lift. Good. Your lower ribs will press down. Hold it as you breathe in. Breathe out as you come back down again. Lovely. That's perfect. and just keep going with those. So as you come up as well, just make sure you keep a little gap between your chin and your chest. You don't want your chin to be pressing right down into your chest because that's going to be too much pressure on your neck. Good. You're supporting your head in your hands rather than using your hands to pull yourself back up again. Good. The next time you come up into your curl up, you're going to hold it there. Good, so hold the curl up, and now you're going to come up into a double knee fold. Good, so reach forward now with your arms, really reaching forward, curl up a little bit higher. Then you're going to bring your hands back behind your head and you're going to roll back down again. Keep up in your double knee fold, and again, curling up, hold the position, reach forward with your arms, really reach. Good, hands back behind your head. Roll back down again. Do that once more. Remember, you can actually do this with your feet on the floor if this feels a bit too much for you in the double knee fold. Good. Hands back behind your head and roll back down. Good. Before we bring your feet down, you're going to come back up into a curl up. You're going to hold it there. Good. Now keep your hands behind your head this time, and now you're going to go into toe taps. So you're going to tap one foot down to the floor. Bring it back up again. Tap the other foot down to the floor. Bring it back up. Keep going. It's really nice. Good. Now you're going to connect your legs. So your legs are glued together, and you're going to bring your feet halfway down to the floor and then back up again. Now just challenge yourself. If you can bring them all the way to the floor, you can do that, but that's actually really, really strong and it's not going to be right for everybody. Good. Keep it really slow. The slower you go, the harder you will work. Maintain your curl up. Watch there's no pressure on your neck. Come out of it if there is. Back up again. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll back down. Let your head release. Let your head roll from side to side. Does that feel alright?
Yeah.
Good. Lengthen your legs away from you now. Bring your arms up above your head and just stretch through your body. Good. Then you can circle your arms out to the side. Just have your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Have your arms a little bit lower than shoulder height. You're going to bend your knees again, back into relaxation position. So now you're going to glue your legs together. So if you have your legs completely glued, we're going to go into hip rolls with your feet down to start off with. So this is just a rotation for your spine. You're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, rotate your pelvis so your knees start to come over. Your feet will stay glued together, so your outer foot will lift up off the floor. Hold it there as you breathe in, breathe out as you bring your knees back, and then go over to the other side. So just continuing with those. This initially should just feel like a little bit of release for your lower back. Good. And then you can either stay with that, or you can come up into a double knee fold. So one knee at a time, into your double knee fold. Make sure you're neutral in your spine before you start, and then just go back into some more hip rolls. If you want to make it even more of a challenge, you can lengthen your arms up towards the ceiling. Good, that's lovely. And then if you want to go into pendulum, you can straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. And I know this is hard for you, Daisy, because your hamstrings are tight. But if your legs are lower, can you do pendulum? No.
I'll try.
If your legs are lower, it's harder work for you. So with bring your arms down actually, bring them out by the side, yeah. And you're just exactly the same movement of your pelvis and your spine. It's easier if I'm helping you.
Yeah.
Shall I let go?
I don't know if I can do it. It hurts my back quite
Does
a lot.
it?
It's
Yeah.
okay, it's okay.
If that's not comfortable on your back,
It's
obviously it's not on
exhausting for me.
Daisy's. Bend your knees, bring your feet back down to the floor. So whichever level is right for you. Good, and then you can just release your lower back if you want to just do a few more little pelvic tilts. Just release your lower back. We're going to go into leg circles. So we've done a little bit of a stretch of your lower legs, of your hamstrings, not much because we're not using any equipment today, so no bands or anything. But you're going to lengthen one leg along the floor. You can keep your arms in that position. You want your body to be really anchored to the floor. You're going to fold this leg in and lengthen your leg up towards the ceiling. So again, that's not too high for Daisy, otherwise she's going to go into a posterior pelvic tilt and we don't want that. We're going to keep the circles quite small, so you're going to breathe in as you bring your leg across your body, breathe out as you bring them down, out to the side and back up again, and then change direction. So breathe in as you bring it out, and then out as you bring it down, across your body and back up again. So just keep changing direction. Now the most important thing is that you don't tilt your pelvis forward as you bring your leg down. Don't let the weight of your leg pull your pelvis forward, so you need to use quite a bit of your core. Good. So you're changing direction each time.
Each time?
Yeah, so just do one circle and then the other. Makes you keep them separate. And then you can bring that leg back down to the floor and then bring the other one up. So fold your knee in, lengthen your leg up, and then again breathing in, bring it across your body, breathe out, bring it down, out to the side and back up again, and then change direction again. Good. I can see you working hard. We haven't done any Pilates for a week. And then you can bring that leg back down to the floor too. Bend your knees, bring your feet back down onto the floor, back into relaxation position. Excuse me. Right. We're going to go into full roll-ups now. But we'll start up in sitting. So if you don't want to do a full roll up, you can just do a half roll back. So Daisy, if you come up into sitting, you're going to lengthen your legs away from you. Are you doing with your legs completely straight?
Yeah.
Is that okay for you? So your legs are straight. Now I press away with your heels. If you have a band, you can use a band for this. If you need to have a cushion underneath your lower back, again, just use a folded up towel if you don't have a cushion. And remember, you can just do half roll backs if you prefer. So for the full roll backs, your arms are lengthened out in front of you. You're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone under, push your lower back down into the mat or into the cushion. So your lower back comes onto the floor. Then gradually bring the rest of your spine onto the floor. Bring your arms above your head. Breathe in as you bring your arms up towards the ceiling. Breathe out as you nod your head forward and start to... You can push your lower back down into the floor or into the cushion. Reach your arms towards your toes so that you feel a stretch in the back of your legs. And then you can go again. Now you can keep your spine in a C shape the whole time. But work slowly through it. Obviously if you have got a band and you're using a band, then you're not going to bring your arms up above your head, but just use the band to help you come up. That's lovely. Now you can either do a few more of those, or do a few half roll backs, or if you've had enough, just go into side rolls. If you want to do something a little bit harder, you can go into a teaser now. So with a teaser, you're going to nod your head forward, bring your arms just as if you were going to do a roll up, start to curl up, and then as you come up, lift your legs. Lift your chest up towards the ceiling, reach your fingertips away. That's lovely, that's really nice. And then as you come back down again, you're going to bring your legs back down towards the floor, or to the floor before your head comes down. And you can do a couple more of those if you want to. That's lovely, good. Do one more. And then you can finish up in sitting. So bring your legs to the floor.
I'm finding it really exhausting today.
Good, well done. Okay, right, so from there we're just going to do just a couple of classical exercises. So we're going to do a single leg stretch. So with this one, you can either have your head down. If you feel that you don't want to be doing too much in curling up, or if you've got a sore neck, then just have your head down on the floor. Or you can stay up in your curled up position, so whichever you prefer. Either way, you're going to roll back down. So if you're coming up into a curled up position, just roll halfway down, so that you're up in a high curl up. So hold it there, and now you're going to come up into a double knee fold. If you brought your head all the way to the floor, put it on your head cushion or onto the mat, and bring your legs also up into a double knee fold. Have your hands either side of one knee, and then you're going to lengthen the other leg away from you. Good, drawing that other knee in, and then alternate. You're keeping your body, your torso, as still as possible, and you're maintaining the curl up. Don't let your head drop back. Good, and keep going. So you're going to start off quite slowly. If you want to speed up a little bit, you can. Make sure you keep breathing. I'm not going to worry too much about the breathing pattern, just breathe. And don't pull on your lower leg. You don't want to put too much pressure on your knee. You can pull either side of your knee and draw it in towards you. That's really nice. If you've got your head down on the mat, then you're going to bring your legs slightly higher. Daisy, can you just demonstrate that? So bring your head down now and continue, but bringing your legs slightly higher, otherwise you might find it pulls in your lower back. Good. And then hug your knees into your chest and just release for a moment. So if you clasp your hands behind the back of your head now, stay up in your double knee fold position. You're going to curl up and we're going to go into a crisscross. So same leg position, but keeping your hands behind your head. You're going to rotate towards your bent knee as you lengthen the other leg away. Now let's do this really slowly. Back to the centre, now over to the other side. And keep breathing. Breathe out as you rotate, in as you come back again. That's lovely. Now if you want to make this really hard, you can add in some holds. Daisy doesn't look like she wants to do the holds.
I'm boiling.
But the hold is where you just hold it for maybe 2 breaths, and it does make it very hard. Do one more to each side. And then you can roll back down again. Bring your head down. Let your head roll from side to side. Does your neck feel all right?
Yeah.
Good. That's lovely. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to come onto your side and just do a little bit more for your glutes. So we're going to do some of the side lying legs. Now, to get into position for this, you want to try and line your spine up with the back of your mat if you can, because you still want to be neutral in your spine. So we'll do oyster first of all. So you can have both legs bent. You want it to be on a bit of an angle, not a right angle, not coming straight out. Your heels are going to be in line with your bottom. If you just demonstrate, Daisy, letting your waist just sink down into the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sinking down.
Yeah. So if you're just lying in bed or something, you'll just be sinking down there, and then your hips are not stacked. Your lower waist is just collapsed. Now you want to have your hips stacked on top of each other, so your lower waist is not collapsed into the floor, and you're actually long in both sides of your waist.
So just lifting up a bit here, so there's the gap.
Exactly. And then you want to keep your lower ribs just tucked down. Don't let them flare, because that will make sure that you have stayed neutral in your spine. So for your head, like Daisy just folded her head cushion in half, you can either, again, just have a towel or do the same as she's doing, but you don't want your head just flopping right down. You want your neck in line with the rest of your spine. And then from there, keeping your feet together to start off with, you're just going to open your top knee up towards the ceiling, but without letting your pelvis rock back, and then you're just going to close it. Again, if you've got one of the little green loops, you can put that around your legs. Or if you've got a band, you can tie it around your legs. It just makes it a little bit harder work, so it just depends on how you're feeling. Good. So you're really pushing this knee up as high as you can without rocking back in your pelvis. So it's a rotation within your hip joint. And then to make that a little bit harder, you can then just lift your feet up off the floor, press your heels together and just do exactly the same. So lifting your knee and then closing it. Again, lift your knee and then close it. Good. And then the last one, and remember you can stop at any stage you want to, you're going to bring your lower leg back down to the floor, lift your top leg now up to hip height, but still just directly above your other leg, and then you're going to do the same. Now try and keep your foot at hip height, but open your knee and then close it, but just back down to hip height. So it's really hard work, this one. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Good. And this is going to work all the muscles around the outside of your hip, your abductor muscles, but also your glute med. Do one more. And then just let your leg relax down for a moment. Feel all right?
Yeah.
Okay, then we're going to straighten this top leg. You're going to try and keep a straight line. Okay, you don't want it sort of in front of your body like that. You're not hinging at your hip. You're going to hold it right back there. You're going to press away with your heel, and we're just going to go into little circles. So you're circling within the hip joint again. Good. And then change direction. I can feel that working.
Good.
And then you can let that leg come back down by your side, or just bring that leg back down, bend it again, and if you need to massage at all, you can massage. And then we're going to just do the same to the other side. So Daisy, if you bring your head this end, and then you're still facing.
Okay.
Okay, so again, just bending your knees, not too bent, so not 45-degree angle, but keeping your heels in line with your bottom, hips stacked, so you're long in both sides of your waist, your lower ribs just tucked down, and then you can keep your feet together, and you're just going to lift your top knee up towards the ceiling without letting your pelvis rock back. Good. Breathe out as you open your knee, breathe in as you close it. Are you slightly stiffer on that side?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you are. Good. And then we'll lift your feet back off the floor, but try and keep your heels glued together again, and then just exactly the same. So opening your top knee up and closing. That's really good. That's really nice stability. That's brilliant. And then the last one, where you're bringing your lower leg back down to the floor, lift your top leg up to hip height, keep your foot at hip height, and open your knee. And close it just back down to hip height again. Good. One more. And then you can just bring your leg down for a moment and just relax it for a moment. And then you're going to lift your leg back up to hip height. You're going to hold it at hip height, press away with your heel, bring it slightly behind you, watch your ribs don't flare, and then just back into those little circles, drawing little circles with your heel, trying to keep your pelvis still. And change direction. And then you can relax your leg. Well done, good. Rolling over onto your tummy now. We'll just do some extension. So we're going to do dart first of all. So you can just rest your forehead on your cushion, so not your nose, just your forehead, and that will just keep your neck in a good position. So your shoulders are completely relaxed, your arms just relaxed down by your sides, your toes are together and your heels are apart. So just draw your abdominal muscles in, so you're not just letting your tummy relax completely into the floor. Then you're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, just gently squeeze your legs together, keep your feet on the floor, And at the same time, lift your head, lift your chest, lift your arms, but just either side of your body. Turn your palms in to face your body and reach away with your fingertips. You're getting that nice stretch through the whole length of your spine. Head's a little bit high. That's it. And then you can release back down again. Good. So you're just going to do that again. So coming back up again. Good. That's much better head position. Lovely. Really reach away with your fingertips. That's really nice. And release back down. Do that again. This time you're going to work a little bit harder through your arms. So once you've come into the position, you're then going to lift your arms a little bit higher behind you. You're going to feel this working in your triceps. Keep your head. Good. Really reach away with your fingertips. Think about the length through your body, and then you can release back down. That okay?
Yeah.
Good. Right, we're going to do that again, but this time keep your arms either side of your body again, so don't lift them too high, and we're going to add in alternate leg lifts. So you're going to come back up into your dart. Remember, keep drawing your abdominal muscles in, use your glutes. Reach away with your fingertips. Now you're going to just try lifting one leg, just a few inches up off the floor, don't bend it. Bring it back down, lift the other leg. Does it feel okay?
Yeah.
Do once more on each side. Remember, you don't have to do the leg lifts if that feels too much for you. And release back down. Lovely. Good. Just fully relax. Let your shoulders completely relax. And then we'll come into a cobra. So you're going to bring your arms into cobra position. Your hands are quite wide, so you want to stay wide in your back. Bring your legs a little bit wider apart, probably almost shoulder width apart, and turn out from the hips if that's comfortable for you. Pelvis is relaxed, but you're drawing your abdominals in. Okay. Now you're trying to get, you're quite good there, you're quite nice and flat in your back. It's quite hard to get rid of the flexion in your upper back, so you're trying to get as much of your chest onto the floor as you possibly can. And then you're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, just lift your head just up off the floor, so you're just extending slightly in your neck. And then you're bringing your chest up, reaching forward with your chest, so you're starting to extend in your upper back, but really think of your chest reaching forward. Good, keep your elbows on the floor. That's really nice. So just that little bit of extension, same as we were doing right at the very beginning. And then you're going to come back down again. Good. So getting that extension in your thoracic spine there is the most important bit. So you can't go into full cobra unless you've got that thoracic extension. So coming up again, Daisy. Good. And keeping that length in the back of your neck. You're not bringing your head up too high. Good. Hold it there. So you just got that little stretch. And back up into your cobra prep again. So hold it. Now just see if you can turn your head from side to side. So you want to be released in your neck. Think of your neck staying really long, ears away from your shoulders. Think of your shoulder blades sliding down your back. And then if you feel comfortable, you can start to come up into a full cobra. So you're starting to straighten your arms. You're letting the extension travel down your spine. The front of your hips will come up off the floor. You'll be looking straight ahead of you. That's lovely. Good. And you can hold it there. Keep your shoulders down. As you come down, bring your elbows straight back down to the floor and then release back down into neutral. And you can do 2 or 3 more like that, but just come up slowly. Make sure you've gone into a nice cobra prep before you come up into full cobra. That's lovely. That's perfect. Good. Keep drawing your abdominals in. Keep thinking of your shoulders releasing down your back. Your shoulder blades releasing down your back. That's perfect, Daisy. Well done. How many have you done?
This is my third.
Okay, you can release back down again. So coming back down. Now come up onto all fours. So up onto your hands and knees. Now we're going to go into a cat stretch. Now again, if being in 4-point kneeling is not a good position for you, either for your wrists or for your knees, then just go straight into rest position and just hold that position. But if this is okay for you, you want to have your hands directly below your shoulders, knees directly below your hips, and you'll feel like you're sticking your bottom out very slightly. Keep your neck in line. with the rest of your spine. Good. So just, first we'll just start with press and release. So push into your hands. So yeah, okay, shoulder blades come together and then push into your hands. I'm probably in the way here. And just do that twice more. So your shoulder blades retract and then you're actually pushing into your hands so that your shoulder blades widen on your back. Good. And then you're just holding that midway point. So your shoulder blades are not coming towards each other. It's quite easy just to allow the weight of your body to bring your shoulder blades. You want to come up slightly higher than that. That's it. That's lovely. Good. Now from here, we're going to go into a cat. So this is just really focusing on your lower back here. So you're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, tilt your tailbone under like that. Good. So you're lengthening in your lower back. And then you're just going to look towards your knees. And that will bring your spine into a really nice C shape. Don't need to do any more than that. On your next out breath, you're just going to lengthen out back into neutral. So crown of your head, tailbone, just into neutral. And you can do 2 more like that. So really focusing on this bit, your lumbar spine. Lovely. So you can see it's not a really huge movement. You just want to bring your head down a tiny bit more though. That's it. And then lengthen back out into neutral. And 1 more. That's lovely. Good. And then actually hold the cat now. So hold that position, then bring your bottom down to your heels. Lengthen your arms out in front of you and release your spine. So you're bringing your chest over your thighs. Now, if this is not a comfortable position for you, you can lie on your side or on your back and just hug your knees into your chest. Breathe into the back and sides of your ribs. Good. And then if you want to change the stretch slightly, so stretch to the side of your body, come back up onto all fours, bring your hands over to one side of the mat. Good. Keep your hips square and then bring your bottom back down to your heels and just reach away with your fingertips. You can creep your fingertips away and you'll feel the stretch in the side of your body. And then you can do the same to the other side. Good. Okay, so right, from here, we're going to come up into sitting. So Daisy, you're going to sit, you're going to face the camera now. I know it's a bit bright, so you probably can't see your face terribly well. We're going to do a spine stretch forward. Okay, so you can either have your feet together and your knees just dropping out to the side, or you can have your legs straight out in front of you, slightly apart, but we'll do this one.
Yeah.
I think the people that want to do the other one know what they're doing.
Okay.
So you're going to have your hands just underneath your legs and you're going to basically slide your hands towards your feet as you roll down. So think of a roll down, lengthen up through the crown of your head. You're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to nod your head forward and start to roll down. Now you're going to slide your hands towards your feet as you go. Draw your abdominal muscles in and think of pushing your lower back towards the wall behind you. So you're getting an elongation through your spine. Good, that's lovely. Also a stretch across the top of your back. Hold it there, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, start to restack your spine. Lengthening back up again. Good. You can do 3 more like that. So this should feel like a nice stretch for your spine. You should feel it through the length and elongation, but also that stretch across the top of your back. So you're really trying not to hinge at all at your hips. You're drawing your tummy in the whole time, and just if you think of your lower back pushing towards the wall behind you, you're not tilting your pelvis. You're just creating length in your spine, and it's just a nice stretch. That's really good. And Daisy's hands are coming right all the way to the tips of her toes. It doesn't matter if your hands just come halfway down your calves. It's just so long as you get the stretch in your spine.
Should I do 1 more?
Yeah, go on, do 1 more. Good. Right, staying in sitting, we're just going to do a little rotation. So if you have your knees bent now, good. And then you're going to bring your left hand onto your right knee. keep really lengthened up through your body. You can bring your right hand behind you and you're just going to rotate round. So you're just trying to get a little bit of a stretch. Now if this is really uncomfortable for you, I think you all know sort of rotation exercises. You can do just a little rotation like that and sitting, or come up into standing for it. Then you can do the same to the other side. So again, doing the rotation that feels right for you, but really trying to keep that length. So it's a nice rotation, also a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Do that once more to each side. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that one. Good. That's it. And then last exercise in sitting. Again, you can do this in high kneeling. You can come up into standing. You can sit on a chair if you start to become very uncomfortable in sitting, or you can sit on a cushion as well. You're going to again just bring your feet together, let your knees drop out to the side, and we're just going to do a side bend. So, lengthening up through both sides of your body. This is a stretch as well. So you're going to take a breath in as you float your left arm up above your head. Really reach up with your fingertips, and then you're going to come up and over. So you can use your right arm to support you as you come over, but you want to try and make sure that your bottom stays firmly on the floor. So you're just feeling that stretch through the side of your body. It's very tempted to tickle you then. Then on your out breath, sorry, you had to hold your breath a long time then. On your out breath, come back up again. Use your abdominals to help you come back up. Float your arm down and just do the same to the other side. So floating this arm up and over. Sorry.
It's okay.
Let's scratch you.
No, I keep thinking my pelvis is moving.
Keep your pelvis as still as possible on the floor. So don't lean right over. And you can do one more of those to each side. Good. Brilliant. And then from here, you're going to slowly come up into standing. Oops. So I'll have to hold this now, so you can see Daisy. So once you're up and standing, we're going to just, first of all, just come into your good standing posture. So try and balance the weight between your big toes, your little toes and your heels. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, so you're really lengthened in your spine. Think about neutral spine and engage your core. And then you're just going to go down into a roll down. Now again, if this isn't right for you, just do a half roll down, or you can even do these against the wall. So have your feet sort of about 1.5 feet from the wall, and you'll be able to have your spine just peel it off the wall. So Daisy's already started, but she's nodding her head forward as she breathes out. She's then again moving sequentially through her spine as she comes down, upper back, mid back, lower back. Bend your knees a little bit, try and keep the weight balanced through your feet. If you want to release your neck and release your shoulders, just by letting your head and your arms just hang for a moment. Bring the weight a little bit further forward into your toes so you're not leaning back. And when you're ready to come back up again, tuck your bottom down towards your heels, restack your spine, coming all the way back up. So really think about your spine as building bricks, placing one on top of another. Lengthen the top of your head back up towards the ceiling, and you can do one more like that. Nod your head forward, start to roll down again. Notice how your spine is feeling now at the end of the session. Good. Hold it there. Breath in. Breathe out as you start to come back up again. Lengthen the top of your head back up towards the ceiling. Good. And then you can take a deep breath in through your nose as you float your arms up above your head. And a long exhalation out through your mouth as you float them back down again. And just do that once more, breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Good, well done. You've finished your first video.